Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking the underlying documentation and design framework of Voicetta. You know, the AI voice platform that answers calls and qualifies leads. But we aren't just looking at dry software specs here. We're examining the core philosophy driving this tech. Okay, let's dive into this, because what we're about to explore is a massive, fundamental shift in how businesses program automated interactions. It's really about how they actually treat their customers. I want you to ask yourself right off the bat, is your business treating callers like guests or just ticket numbers? Because we've literally all been there. You call a business, you get trapped in some endless press one for sales menu, and you immediately feel like a total burden in a queue or just some cold lead to be processed. That's kind of the industry norm for automated systems right now. But the source material we're looking at today challenges that norm head-on. It argues that modern customers deserve way more than just being processed. They actually deserve to be hosted. Section 1. From tickets to guests. And this brilliantly illustrates the shift in mindset. Think about the highly fragmented labels businesses use to categorize the people contacting them. They call them a caller, a lead, a user, a tenant, a patient, or maybe even another AI agent acting on someone's behalf. These words inherently silo the customer experience, right? But Voicetta introduces a singular, unified standard. They use one word, very intentionally, across the board. Guest. Section 2. Defining the guest philosophy. So what does that actually mean? Well, according to the documentation, a guest in the Voicetta ecosystem is defined as every single person or AI agent receiving service from your business. But honestly, the second half of this definition is the absolutely crucial part. It explicitly demands attention, clarity, and respect from the very first second of the conversation. It doesn't matter how they're reaching out. What matters is that the standard of respect is completely non-negotiable from the moment that interaction begins. And this standard applies universally. Whether it's a hotel guest asking about check-in times, a real estate buyer inquiring about a new property, a tenant reporting a leaky faucet, a clinic patient asking for availability, or even a digital AI agent reaching out on behalf of an organization, they are all guests. As the documentation clearly states, the industry changes, the standard does not. Section 3. Why this standard matters. Now, you might be wondering, what's the ROI on all this respect? The documentation outlines 4 core business benefits to this approach: saving money, working faster, standardizing service, and delighting every guest. Let's see how this builds into actual operational realities. If we look at how this breaks down operationally, we see exactly how respectful automation impacts the bottom line. You save money by reducing avoidable callbacks and missed opportunities. You work faster because your team gets cleaner context. Every interaction is organized properly around that guest. You standardize service with an AI agent following this super high standard 24/7. And you delight the guest because they actually feel remembered, guided, and taken seriously, rather than being bounced around a call center holding for all eternity. Section 4. Building the guest's workspace. So the crucial point is how the app's logical architecture is specifically engineered to answer 3 cascading questions instantly. 1. Who is this guest? 2. What have they already asked or done? And 3. What is the best next step? If you think about it, that is exactly what a top-tier human receptionist does in their head the very second someone walks through the front door. The software is built to replicate that exact cognitive process. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how Voicetta achieves that, to answer those 3 questions perfectly every single time. The application pulls everything into one unified workspace. It combines the agent's instructions, the company knowledge base, phone calls, SMS messages, WhatsApp chats, interaction history, conversation memory, and external integrations all into one place. It just completely eliminates the fragmentation so the AI treats the guest with full seamless context. Section 5. Writing prompts like a pro. For those building out these systems, the documentation shares this golden rule for prompt engineering. Write as if the agent represents your best front desk or customer-facing team member. Think about your absolute most polite, most efficient, most helpful employee. Your prompts should anchor the AI to that exact standard of human service. You are essentially cloning your very best team member's approach to hospitality. To ensure you hit that mark, the docs highlight what not to do. This includes calling people users or tickets in any guest-facing language, or optimizing your system purely for cost reduction while completely forgetting about service quality. It also means not letting different team members invent different tones, which just confuses the guest. And here's a massive pitfall: treating SMS, WhatsApp, and voice calls as separate stories. Listen, if a guest texts you and then calls you, that is one continuous journey. Treating them as separate completely breaks the illusion of great service. Which brings us to a final thought for you to chew on. Look at the systems handling your inbound inquiries right now. Does your automated front desk actually meet the guest standard? Are you forcing people into fragmented ticket systems, or are you offering them attention, clarity, and respect from the very first second? It's a standard that entirely changes how we think about automation. Thanks for joining me on this explainer. Now it's your turn to look at your workflows and ask, are you just processing tickets, or are you finally ready to welcome guests?